All right. Hello. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
We're I'm Rebecca. I'm the very tired Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in clear and chilly Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. It's going to be like 10 degrees warmer than yesterday.
I wasn't outside for most of yesterday,
Well,
so I can't tell. It was very
It's
hot
like-
where we were painting.
it was like 50 something, low 50s. Today
It's
it's
supposed
going
to
to
be
be
like
low
60.
60s.
Okay. Up where I live, up in the mountains, or on the side of the mountain, it is only supposed to get to 60. Down here in
like
town,
61
for
for an hour.
It is 42 degrees right now. Oh yeah. I see. My watch is saying 62 by 4 o'clock, maybe.
It's going to get to 62 and then run away real fast.
Run fast, yes. So, yes, we are very tired. If you saw our little video yesterday, we were painting all day at the new shop. I'm so excited. I'm so tired. We put in a full day.
We're going to do it again tonight.
Well, not a full day tonight, but we are planning on going over there and working tonight. I think we've gotten like 95% of the priming done.
Yeah, I still have priming to do.
Stop beating yourself up, Liz. I can't make her not beat herself up, but you were doing the important stuff none of us wanted to do. So anyway, we are probably going to start on the real color over there. And let me see. I have it. Not that the filming is going to show the... Oh, we're so sore. We had a good crew of helpers. At the most, I think we had about 6 people, including us, 6 people there working. And it was awesome and exhausting, and everything is sore. Even though I took ibuprofen multiple times yesterday. But we're so excited. So the real base color is going to be a little darker than what we were painting.
Okay, good.
But not a lot. Like, especially on the second coat, but even on the first coat, it was making the space so much lighter. Go check out our really short video we posted yesterday if you want to see the space before, like kind of before and after, not the after, just after priming. The ones that are circled on here, which again, light changes everything. So the main color is going to be a little darker than what we painted yesterday because the primer had a tint of paint in it. And then our accent is going to be this guy. And we're filming with like a warm light on, so this isn't necessarily exactly what it's going to look like. But I think it's going to be so great. I'm so excited. Yeah, so we're
I'm excited too. It just doesn't show.
She doesn't have the energy to show it. So we're a little preoccupied, as you might guess. Just to get it out of the way now, before we talk about any other work we're actually getting done, which is minimal. We do have a GoFundMe set up and donations on our shop website. If you feel so moved and have the ability to donate some funds to our move. If you do not, that is fine too. But everything is appreciated. Like, size of donation does not matter in our hearts. So if you're able to donate $5, $10, $15, every little bit helps. Donations so far have paid for the paint. They have they will pay for the sign we're getting. We're also looking to try to hire some movers from the Job Corps to help us out, moving trucks, things like that. Anything coming in is really helping us make an awesome space.
Invest in your future of the yarn shop.
Yeah. So invest in our future, which is your future, which is the way that we can turn around and support you. So, donations have been wonderful so far, and they also help us to survive through being shut down for a week, because we're going to have to do that. We could still be making sales online, but that's essentially very little income for the week that we're shut down and moving. So donations help cover that. And if we get enough, I'm hoping we can start looking into more comfy furniture for maybe a nice seating area. Honestly, at this point, I might need to take some of the funds to clean the floor, because we found out yesterday the floor is really dirty. But anyway,
we need one of those fuzzy, great big mop things.
Like a power.
No, just one of those push.
Oh yeah,
but that would
help with new dirt,
and it would probably help with old dirt, because it's not like
you can't see that it's dirty though, which means it's like it's embedded in the floor right now. Anyway, we'll talk about that off camera. So, but any and all funds help us. Like, I have visions of going in and Swiffering, like wet Swiffering, or like wet jet, and it's going to take like a few days, because it's a big space, but we're so excited about the big space. So anyway, I'm gonna say, what did you do this weekend, Liz? She painted.
I got 5-10 minutes from the house and realized the one thing that I actually did this weekend was still at home.
That is what happens when we are preoccupied and tired and busy.
But I have a picture.
I was going to say, didn't you send me a picture so you have some evidence on your phone?
I made mitts.
They're so cute. And tell the story. So the yarn.
So
it's not yarn from our shop.
It's not yarn from our shop.
We used, like a colorway we used to have. Go ahead.
So I'm on a mailing list for a yarn shop that I bought yarn at like years ago, and I got an email and it said, hey, our clearance yarn is up to 75% off. And I was like, what? So, I'll go cheat on Rebecca for 75% off.
I'm okay if people cheat on me as long as they keep buying from me too.
So I went and I'm scrolling through, and they had some Lorna's laces that was left, and some of it was, still like $10+ a skein. And as I'm scrolling, Oxygen is my favorite color. It's red and dark and broody, and it's
red
just
and black and stuff, right?
Yeah, a little bit of pink in there. And they had worsted weight Oxygen for $5 a skein. And I was like, oh, how many skeins do you got left? And they had 3. And so for $15, I got 3 skeins of Lorna's laces. And so I was like, wee. And so for the mitts, I put some black mohair in it to make it more of a chunky weight, which was what my pattern was. And
sorry, I blinked really long.
It's okay. If you do that, you'll fall asleep. Anyway, so
did you mention I may have missed this because I'm tired. Did you mention Lorna's laces stopped dyeing yarn
Lorna's laces stopped dyeing yarn like
2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
You're about to say a year ago? It was longer than that.
It was the beginning of the pandemic.
It was like within the first year of the pandemic.
Yeah. And we were sad.
All of it feels like a year ago. We were very sad.
But I was like, ooh, $5. Rebecca's like, well, of course you should have gotten that. And I was like, oh yeah. So
I'm not upset.
I did mitts, and I'm gonna do a little hat.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Like we don't have all the yarn that is available everywhere to buy. So of course people are gonna buy stuff other places. I do get little pangs of like, oh, when I see someone is knitting with something that's not from our shop. But I also recognize people can't only shop with us because we're not going to have everything you need.
I try, but then Lorna's laces in my favorite colorway comes up, or second favorite, because Zombie Barbecue is my favorite, and
yeah. Sorry, I almost yawned.
Don't do that.
This is me awake.
It's too early in the day.
I had coffee.
So did I.
Brought 2 sodas in today because I plan on having one with lunch
and one
with dinner before we start painting again. And I'm going to have to tape my eyes open. But it's also worth it. Okay.
Fortunately, my job is all on the floor. So I can.
You could pass out there and people might not notice. Okay. So, oh, by the way, SAF is this weekend. I'm going to get to my stuff, which I made progress on before we started working on the new shop. And then everything ground to a halt. I didn't do any morning meditation this morning because there was no progress to show, because after I filmed yesterday, then we went and worked at the shop, and I went home and went, yeah, no. I went to bed. Just no. So, but SAF stands for the Southeastern Animal Fiber Fair. It's SAFF. That is this weekend. It's one of the reasons we're not moving until the end of October. The other one being all the classes I'm doing, both in person and online. I can't move till that's over. That's just blah. So the Southeastern
Animal
and
file.
no, the rest of it I don't have as much problem saying. It's the Southeastern is I'm stumbling on right now. Animal Fiber Fair. Yes. It happens to be the same weekend as Rhinebeck this year. And I think it might happen again next year, because we were, as yarn shops in Western North Carolina, kind of chatting about that recently. And it's like one of them is always the weekend before Halloween, and the other one is always like the third weekend. And they just happen to coincide, which is like, So according to SAF's website, they have lots of new vendors. And that's probably because if people usually do both, they probably went to Rhinebeck, because that's the super mega filled with stars and you meet everybody, and huge one. It's up in New York. It's awesome. I've never
It's
been.
gonna be cold.
It's cold here. So we know it's going to be cold there. Although weather is weird lately. It could be the same temperature, even though we're down south.
We're in the
Mountains. Mountains change everything. It's like north, south, mountains. Puts us anyway. Excuse me. So, okay.
Welcome to Slap Happy, brought to you by We're Tired.
So I did make progress on, because this past weekend I had my in-person class, because B is all out of whack now. There were only a few people in it, and it's all out of whack because of moving, and it was out of whack because of SAF. Anyway, the in-person sessions, and I had the virtual class on sleeves. So even though my torsos weren't done on my sweaters, and my mountain mist has made very little progress, so I'm probably not going to even take it out of the bag today. But I got 3/4 of my sleeves for my other two off of stitch holders, and then one went back on stitch holders, because we were talking about how to do 2 at a time sleeves and then try it on while it's going. So we demonstrated that, and I did a version of your thing, but probably not the right way.
My brain was trying to track that, and I was like, wait,
what I just said?
Yeah, you got 3/4 of your sleeves, and I was like, wait, how does that work?
2 from one sweater,
yeah,
1 from another, 4 sleeves, 3 of them have underarms picked up, is really what that means.
Issue.
Yeah, brain's slow. Okay. But my brain did the math on that right. So I have like multiple balls of yarn hanging off of all of these sweaters. What I do want to try on for you all today, at the very least, is my Koivua, because I'm about halfway through the second set of texture at the bottom. So it's like, okay, it's partially, oh my Lord, there's barber cords that aren't on this anymore. They just got flung across the room. Because I showed on this sweater how to set up 2 at a time sleeves, there are 3 balls of yarn hanging off of the sweater right now. Eventually, this will all work in my favor. Right now, it's a little bit of a hot mess. This is partially on barber cords from yesterday's morning meditation. This shows how little I've done on this sweater in the past 2 or 3 days. So give me a second. to make sure, even if it's a tangled mess, I'm not going to lose stitches. I'm going to put it on totally on the barber cord to try it on for the bottom torso. So after the color work stops on the chart for the koivua, there is about 10 rows of texture. No, maybe it's 20. It's, well, no, it's like 12. It's like 39, rows 39 to 51. And then there's ribbing. And it's like, if you want it longer, then repeat rows 39 to 51 as many times as you want. So I am on like row 44 of the second time through. Did you follow that? Wasn't expecting her to follow that.
There were numbers involved, and my brain went, nope, I'm done.
Now you know how I feel when you're spouting numbers at me, which are probably things that I should be paying attention to, and it's just really hard to follow sometimes.
Most of the time, I just am spouting numbers because talking out loud.
Yeah, I know, which is why then I feel bad if I haven't processed at the same speed. However, it's all good. I just tell her I can't process and to tell me again later. So I'm honest and say, what? So this you can kind of see as I'm working it around here.
That is pretty.
Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty. So I was just last Tuesday, I think I was just caught on the yarn bowl here. I was just starting maybe the first set of this texture, and now I've got a set and a half basically, and we were thinking I need to do at least 2. So I'm gonna set this down on the table, my microphone. I'm enough of the non-quiet sister that might be okay. So let's see. And I'm fully expecting this to, the yarn is just gonna, the working balls of yarn are just gonna be a hot mess. This is the back. This is the front. The yarn is over there. Let me stand up.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah. So of course I'm wearing, I'm not wearing my pants today to check how the length is doing. And this is just a big hot mess. So see, one sleeve is this one on the barber cord?
Yep.
Set up, but the underarms are picked up, and there's one ball of yarn here. And then this one's on one circular kind of magic looped, and hopefully I haven't lost too many stitches off the bottom, but I'll fix that if I did. This might be, I'm going to put that down on the table again. I think like my hips are like top of my hips are here. This is mid hip. Mm-hmm. This is like where the hip joint is right here.
Let me
I'll straighten that out.
There. I think you're pulling the front down a little bit further.
I think I'm pulling like this, absolutely too. I'm also thinking that once I get this second set done, that'll take it to here, and then the ribbing. I think this might be long enough. That the second set was good. I'll try it on with pants too, just to make sure. But like, okay, the belly roll that I usually worry about things hunkering down is right about here. So finishing this set with a few more rows and then the ribbing, I think will be okay. And I know you can't really see my face with where we have the camera positioned right now, but you can see my beautiful sweater.
I think it'll be perfect for both dress and
pants. I think this will be a nice in-between level. It's probably not as long as the t-shirt I was wearing the other day, but
it will be by the time you get done, I think.
Yeah, because I think the ribbing at the bottom is only like 5 or 6 rows, but I could make that longer if I got there and decided it wasn't long enough. I could just do more ribbing. So the torso is very close to being done, and my sleeves are set up to do my next part. Oh, good. None of it's caught on me. I'm also gonna try on my gold wing for y'all. I think I have to put this on a barber cord to do so, but I think it's longer than the last time you saw it because I have worked on it. I want to say it is 7 inches from sleeve separation or so, which is not as long as it needs to be. The minimum length that the pattern writer wanted it was 10 inches, and I probably want it longer. So
You like a good 12 to.
yeah, the 10 inches was
Yeah.
before 2 inches of ribbing. But there's my barber cord. I do like a good, like maybe solid 15, especially if I'm wearing it with jeans or with pants. So, but I am really loving how this one's coming out too. Barber cord on. And this one I have one sleeve is on 2 circulars and the other one is just on a stitch holder.
Hanging out.
Yeah, like sleeve separation stitch holder, not a actually set up to start knitting stitch holder. So it still needs to have stitches picked up across the gap. The bridge, as I like to call it in my lessons, that we built when we did sleeve separation. Oops, I'm going to knock that thing off the table. And once I get this guy done, because my mountain mist was for my 3rd class, I'm not prioritizing it right now. I'm prioritizing the 2 I'm working on with the ongoing classes. So we'll just see what happens. Especially with with the shop work we're trying to do. And my parents coming into town, both of which are super exciting. So
it's a full week we've got.
It is, with
like,
Saf and everything.
Saf, your
Oh
parents.
And
Yeah.
they're already tired and it hasn't even really happened yet. Fun!
I'm daydreaming about the nap I'm going to take Sunday afternoon.
I mean, after Saf?
Yeah.
I was thinking we'd go to Saf not too early because I might want to grab wholesale stuff from people.
Ooh, a sleep in.
That might be a better way to tackle it, as a sleep in. But we'll see. Oh my gosh, yarn is everywhere on this. Let me see if I can decipher what needs to be where. Why are you tangled on my barber cord? There's no reason you should be. There we go. There we go. All right. So many pieces of yarn.
Ooh.
You want to pull the back down a little bit if it needs to. Does it not need it?
Doesn't
it doesn't need it.
Really need it. It falls nicely.
So yes, the drape on this is fantastic because this is a little more form-fitting. So this is the Gold Wing by Jennifer Steingass, and it's meant to be more form-fitting, not like tight, but it's not as boxy and drapey. And plus the koivua that I'm making is written for worsted weight, and I'm doing it with a light DK. So it just falls completely differently, which is awesome. So this is great. I could finish it right now if I wanted it to be a cropped piece to go with dresses. But I think I want the functionality of wearing this because, again, this is where, right down here, is where my pants can roll to sometimes because I got a little belly bulge right here. So, and I'm not afraid to say that on on YouTube. So I need it to come down to like here. So I'm maybe only halfway done. I think I do want a good 12 inches before I do my ribbing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at most I have 7 right now. At most, and that might be pushing it. But it's gonna be so pretty. And see, this sleeve is ready to go with underarm stitches picked up, and this sleeve is still just hanging on the barber cord with no underarm. You can see how, like, just even picking up the stitches
kind of
almost pulls that in, and once the sleeve is on there, it's gonna pull that in even more. So yay. I will keep this one on for the moment, but And one of the benefits is I'll reach this way to turn off so I don't trip on myself here. But I do love this color work. This is done with Ultra Alpaca. I didn't mention either one. Let me see if I can just pin it right here. Okay. So this one is done with 2 different colors of Ultra Alpaca, which we were talking about stitch definition. This is fuzzy, but still has really good stitch definition. It's not as crisp and clear as if I'd use some wools. Like this guy doesn't have any alpaca in it, so but this is still pretty soft stuff, so the stitch definition might be even a little cleaner with this. But this is, my main color is Juniper Moon Farm Patagonia. And my color changing, I have one color of Feederbrook up here and one color down here. And the sleeves have color work on them. So I'm going to try to use what's left of this ball. I might even do them 2 at a time so I can go from the inside and outside of that ball. And try not to tangle it. Just so I run out at the same time. If I run out. So rather than getting one sleeve done and then going, I'm out of yarn. Okay, let's make them mismatched. Not just in, because they won't have the same color shift on each sleeve, but I can do it in the same color way, which means they'll be complementary. They'll be coordinating sleeves rather than matching sleeves. But if I did one sleeve and then the other and ran out, then I'd have to go to a different colorway of her yarn. And I thought when we picked them out, I was like, these have the similar blues and the similar purples and the similar greens. They are, but they're not. They're like, one's warmer than the other. Like the purples don't match. Like one is more of a aubergine and one is more of a royal purple, and it's like still a beautiful sweater. But if I had to do one sleeve in one colorway and one sleeve in another, I think it would be noticeable. At least to me.
It's the hard thing with using indie dyed or not. Like even if you were to have 2 balls of your sleeve color
of the same
color, mm-hmm. They're still not going to be exactly the same because it's the way the yarn is done.
Especially the way she does her yarn is the saturation levels are different every time, and she dyes the roving and then spins it, and so the way the colors are combined will be different every time. Like we have yarn coming in from Yarn Baby, and she said DK only if some people are out there going, oh good, I can get more of my fingering right. We don't have that coming in right now. We may have issues with that base in the future anyway. But she said I dyed Brevard in fall and Brevard in summer with different colors, and they look pretty similar. I said, that's okay. Someone's going to buy it. It's beautiful. But that's the danger of indie dyed stuff. It's not a danger. For some people, it's a real joy. For other people, it's an annoyance. It's not mass produced, so it's not going to come, and it's not done by machine, so it's not going to come out the same every time.
Well, and I'm thinking even Perth, like the 2 different colors of Perth, because that's spun and dyed the same way this is. It's just more commercially,
And sometimes just even if it's mass produced, like Liz is saying, the way the plies come together can change the effect the color has.
Yeah.
So, I do have to get out of this at some point. I cannot wear it all day because it has at least 2 balls of yarn hanging off of it. But I'm excited by the fit. I'm excited about so much that has to do with this, with both sweaters. And my Mountain Mist is really pretty too. I really like that one as well. But we need to go get ready for the day. So we're going to end it here. Maybe around the edges, I'll get some more knitting done, but there's a lot of other stuff going on right now. So
there is no knit night tonight.
Yes, that's the thing. We're going to be painting instead of knit night. We don't have knit night this whole week, that means. And apologies to people that was a surprise to, because our original intention was to have knit night tonight, but not Friday, because my parents are here. And then we realized we really just need to try to knock this out and get the painting done at the new shop. And that means we got to go back tonight and maybe even tomorrow night, even when my parents are here. We'll both be working on the new shop. So Thank you for understanding. If we get enough done, we'll have sit and stitch next week, but I cannot make any promises. We're not planning right now to have sit and stitch the week that we're closed to move. If that changes, we'll let you know, but right now we're not planning on it. We have thoughts, but they may not work and we might be too tired. We're already too tired. So, so we will talk to y'all tomorrow. We'll potentially have something on sale. We're running out of steam for that too, but
We'll have something on sale.
we'll have something on sale. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, all the fun
I'm
stuff.
like, there's things you can say at the end, or I can try to say because you've said it enough. I should know how to say it, but
I finished my row, so if people pick this up, I'm not in the middle of a row.
Oh, good.
Yay.
Because people pick up stuff we leave on the table, and then, yeah, it can be disastrous. I know we shouldn't leave it on the table. Where else are we gonna put it?
Well, even if it's in a bag, people reach in and pull stuff out of a bag. So they're like, "Ooh, what's this?" So,
Bye.